Hello and welcome to the Barton Edition. My name is Taylor Baker and I'll be your host today. Today we have Adam Twiss with us, who is the Director of Theater at Barton. Mr. Twiss, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
Okay, so what I want to talk about today is the upcoming play that we have going on called On the Timing. So could you tell us what this play is about?
Well, it's actually a series of plays, and I'll tell you quickly that this was inspired by some student work that we had going on last semester. That we had a notion of what we were going to be performing in the fall, but we hadn't really finalized that. And I had some students who were working on some short plays by a playwright named David Ives, who wrote a number of series of very comic plays, very smart, well-developed sketch comedy type plays. And my students handled this so well that it made me think that maybe it was time to do one of these evenings of short material that we would then kind of piece together to create a full-on production. And it also coincided with the fact that we were going to, for the first time, produce on our homecoming weekend, which every year we get people coming in at homecoming weekend, poking their heads into the theater while we're in rehearsal for other shows that we've got usually going on in November. But they're always coming through, and they're very excited about the new theater, and they're very excited about the fact that we've got so much going on at Barton, and they're always very, very sad that we don't have a production that's happening on that homecoming weekend. And I had very specifically stayed away from producing on that weekend, but thinking that it was, just one too many things to be going on. But then this year, after so many people, requesting that, I thought that maybe it was time to try something and try and produce on that weekend. So I coordinated with Summer Brock, who heads up the alumni relations, and we decided it was a great idea to try and do that, and we would kind of spearhead some events around the fact that it's homecoming and that we have a show going on, and we would honor our former alumni from Stage and Script and from the theater program, and so the idea was, what kind of material do we want to work with? Does it want to be something of a classic? Does it want to be something contemporary? Does it want to be comic? Does it want to be dramatic? And when we sort of landed on this idea of these, what I have, are 8 short plays that are directed by 8 different directors, and they are comic in nature and very, very smart. I had these 8 directors select these pieces from about 28 possible choices, and these directors consist of alumni. They consist of existing faculty. They consist of some staff members and a couple of very well-accomplished community members. And what we've got going is a night of theater that is unlike anything we've done before here at Barton, and it's something that our people who are coming in for homecoming weekend can invest in pretty quickly. It doesn't take much to enjoy some short comic pieces, as opposed to maybe a gigantic tragedy that that we're going to ask them to come and buy into very quickly. So it's a different kind of piece, and it's going to be a lot of fun, very fast, and if not frivolous, at least it will be fun.
Okay, could you tell me like some of the storylines of like some of the plays, so somebody can get an idea of like what they might be about?
Well, let's see. Without
you don't want to
giving away too much. Yes, don't want to be a spoiler. Some of they're all somewhat situational, so that and they're in small cast. There's maybe one that's of a sizable cast of 8. A number take place in restaurants or cafes, which are great places to put short, quick, it's kind of situations between men and women. Some of them are very wordplay heavy, so that people are sort of exposing, what gets said between individuals as opposed to what was really meant by, by that comment. So we're looking at sort of subtext versus the actual text, which can be really funny if you think about how people spin their words in order to affect change on someone else. There are some that take place in most are contemporary times, and some are in older times that sort of have an anachronistic sort of tie into something more contemporary or something that is, is outlandish in their particular, time frame. So, well, they're sort of all over the map in that regard. Some are very soft as far as what the environment would be, and some are very rigid, to being on a steel girder 50 stories in the air. So it's really, a lot of different situations. So if you can think sketch comedy, and I think you're going to find yourself in the right world for that.
Okay, so you said like there's a series of different plays going on during that one play. So like there's a lot of different directors, and some of those directors like are here, like faculty members at Barton.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Are you one of those? Are you like directing one in particular?
So while I'm tempted to direct them all, because I was instrumental in making the choices, but I together with the other directors, I really want to allow the development of directors in both on campus and off. I want directors to have an opportunity to try something, because directing, unlike acting, is not something that that you can just sort of put a little your foot in the water and gently get used to it before you start up. With acting, you can have a small role and kind of increase in the scale of those roles and the importance to the overall piece. A director, you grab it and you run with it, and it takes a great deal of training and experience to develop as a director, and that's something that we need. We need more on campus, we need more off campus in this community. So I'm trying to use this as a springboard for director talent that can then be utilized, and we're seeing that. It's really quite amazing when you see what some of these people, some in its age range from let's say 20s into 60s, and the scale of what these people are able to accomplish. Even some of the newer, more rookie directors are some of the older directors in that regard, and their life experience and their just experience with either theater or entertainment in general, gives them a different perspective than some of the younger folks, even if those young folks are experienced. So, ultimately, what I'll do is help shepherd this in so that it's as solid as it can be, as these pieces dovetail together and work into a comprehensive whole. But right now, everyone is off directing their little piece on their own, and I'm helping with support with ideas, costumes, props, scenic elements, things like that, and then we pull it together in the next week and a half, and then we tech the thing to the idea early on, and is going to be ultimately a great product, but it has its challenges. Everyone has different ways of approaching this material, and they've been wonderful to work with. But there are a lot of folks they're treating it like a full-on play, and with 8 full-on plays going on, that makes a lot of work for us to keep up with. But I think we're going to enjoy it.
Could you talk a little bit about the cast, like what you think about the cast?
So one of the great things about something like this is, again, you're not asking someone to devote 100 hours of their time, to a production. If you're doing a full-on play, whether it's contemporary or classic of some sort, it takes a great deal of rehearsal time, and then outside of rehearsal time, line memorization and such. And here we're asking people, if they're in a 10-minute or 15-minute or 20-minute play, we're asking them to meet once or twice a week for a few weeks. So we're asking for 20 hours of your time versus 120 hours of your time. So so the buy-in from a student perspective or from an individual perspective is much lower. If I need Hamlet, then that's someone who's going to be committed to us, married to us at the theater for the next couple of months. If I need someone to be girl one in a funny little sketch comedy piece, that is a lot easier for someone to do. So what we get from that is opportunities for people to get involved with the theater, when they normally wouldn't necessarily have so much time available to commit. And so we have a lot of new faces who we haven't seen before, a lot of freshmen who we haven't had a chance to be on our stage before, and we're hoping that they're going to both enjoy it and look forward to the next time that they can get on stage. We've got bigger shows coming up, than this that are going to require some of that lengthy buy-in. And so if we tempt them now and get them excited and get them to enjoy and revel in this great artistic medium, then they're very likely to be hooked and come on back. But yeah, a lot of fresh faces. And I've got 3 fresh senior faculty members who are involved with one of these, who otherwise would never have the time to be on stage with us in something like this. So that's a delight as well.
Okay, if there was something that you could say to our viewers to convince them to come out and watch the show, what would you say?
Which camera's on me? All of them? This one? All right. I would say, don't miss this opportunity to see your friends and colleagues and fresh Barton students, as well as the community members, on stage making fools of themselves in many ways, and just enjoying this wonderful mashup of delightful comedy. Come see All in the Timing.
Is there any cost to this play?
The cost, we keep our costs very minimal. So we do need to charge admission, for folks who are not part of the Barton community. We keep it as part of our benefits to Barton students, faculty, and staff. So it's free of admission for Barton. We keep it very modest for everybody else, and this would be $10 as a standard adult, $8 as a senior military or alumni, and then $6 as a non-Barton student.
Where do they get these? Do they get them in the theater, or?
If you go to our website at www.barton.edu/theater, or you can just link to it from the Barton website, you will find both description of the material and a link to our third-party ticketing webpage. So you can go on there, and we use a ticketing organization called Ovation Tix out of New York.
So if I'm not mistaken, the dates...
Or at the day of performance.
Oh,
so.
okay. If I'm not mistaken, the dates are October 20th through the 21st at 7:30.
Right. So
Okay.
so again, because this is on homecoming weekend, we changed up our schedule a little bit, and so it's that Thursday and Friday on the 20th and 21st at 7:30, and then on the Saturday and Sunday, the 22nd and 23rd at 3 p.m. So both of them are matinees. So we stayed away from the Saturday evening performance because that's where we have other great homecoming activities. Great time to be on Barton's campus, and this is just a fun way to stay active throughout the weekend there.
Is there anything you'd like to add before we end this program?
Probably not at this time. We just have we're having a lot of fun, and I'm hoping that this is going to be as fruitful in production as it's been in getting it there, thus far.
Okay, well, we thank you for joining us on the show today.
Thank you so much.
Okay, to our viewers, first off, we want to thank you for watching the show today. And second, I want to remind you that the dates, if you want to come see this show, are October 20th through the 21st at 7:30 and October 22nd through the 23rd at 3 p.m. in the Kennedy Family Theater. Okay, guys, that's all for today. I'm Taylor Baker, and I'll see you next time on the Barton Edition.